What's going on, man?
Hey, bud, just Facebooking, hashtag Dalton State, hashtag Roadrunners.
That's awesome, man. Have you seen the Roadrunner lately?
Hashtag Rage, hashtag Flying,
Hashtag Cruising, hashtag Burning the Road.
hashtag Basketball Team,
Hashtag Have we won any games lately?
hashtag Have you seen the record lately? Hashtag 26-4,
Hashtag Have you seen the new gym lately?
hashtag Amazing,
Hashtag Shiny Floor.
hashtag Motivation,
Hashtag New Lights.
hashtag New Year's Resolution, not met, not planning on meeting,
Hashtag Student Life Rocks here.
hashtag So many activities, hashtag Have to prioritize, hashtag Not enough hours in the day, hashtag What's up with Justin Bieber, man? Hashtag starving.
Hashtag I'm really hungry right now.
Hashtag meal plan.
No, I'm serious. I'm really hungry right now.
Hashtag
I'm really feeling sick in my stomach.
hashtag oh boy.
Hashtag for reason.
Does anybody have a cookie?
Yeah. Look right.
No, really.
Really? Look right up there.
I'm really feeling sick.
Oh, for real?
You really?
Hashtag
Jinx Yoga Soda.
That was good.
punch break it, don't punch back.
Hit me again. Hit me one more time.
Hashtag Britney Spears.
Hashtag Justin Timberlake.
Hashtag were they dating at one point?
Hashtag that was so done and over with.
Hashtag bye. Hashtag the bell tower.
Hashtag 25 bells.
Hashtag how tall is it? I bet you don't know.
Hashtag no clue, but if I had to guess, hashtag I still don't know. Let's just
Hashtag have you seen President Schwinn lately?
hashtag the man's too busy. Hashtag can't keep up with him.
Hashtag Schwinn, isn't that a bicycle?
Hashtag really famous bicycle.
Hashtag it's a really cool bicycle. Like he's like I used to have one, and so the way you like pedal the bike, like it's really smooth. And I think that name like really fits his like personality, like Schwinn. It's like smooth, like Schwinn. And I think he's really a good president. So
I'm talking about hashtag president.
Hashtag
Schwinn.
Hashtag Schwinn, like smooth Schwinn.
Hashtag President Schwinn.
That's awesome.
Hashtag how awesome would it be if he rode a Schwinn to the fireside
Chat. It's like having two Schwinns. You have a Schwinn bike and a Schwinn president.
Hashtag ultimate Schwinny.
It would become one.
Hashtag you got a little bit of something right here.
Hashtag are you serious? Wait, can we cut the camera off?
Hashtag math made me the man I am today.
Are you serious?
Hashtag calculus. Hashtag finally passed it. Hashtag drop calculus once or twice. Too many emotions bottled up inside. Hashtag the bird is back. Hashtag rage. Hashtag I can't wait for soccer to start. Hashtag Mimi.
Hashtag you just said hashback. Hashtag.
Sorry.
Right, hashtag.
I am so sorry, my friend. My Mexican problem is sometimes too much.
Oh, it's like hashtag, like hash browns, like at IHOP.
Hash brown?
Like hash, like where it comes
Hash brown?
in. It's like hash browns, like when you
Hashtag rage. Hashtag best season ever. Hashtag can't wait for soccer.
or hashtag beat beat.
Hashtag squat.
Hashtag Tony Ingle.
Hashtag basketball team. Hashtag Derek.
Hashtag that echoed.
Hashtag Jinx, you owe me another soda.
Who's that?
Estos dicen que hashtag eso. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es eso? Hashtag, ¿qué es eso? Está loco.
Hashtag I don't speak Spanish.
Hashtag sorry.
Hashtag dude, what's your problem?
Hashtag sorry for you is what I meant to say.
Alright, hashtag apology accepted.
Hashtag bilingual.
Hashtag lingual.
Hashtag you don't let me finish my hashtag. I was hashtagging. You can't interrupt in the middle of hashtagging.
Hashtag I'm sorry.
Hashtag you did it again. Hashtag.
Dude, you're really hurting my feelings right now.
Hashtag sorry.
Hashtag apology accepted.
Hashtag you better. Hashtag that's a joke. Ha ha ha. Hashtag 17 degrees.
Hashtag 17 plus to be exact, sir.
Hashtag 98 degrees. Hashtag
flashback. You are my everything.
Hashtag wow. Hashtag you just killed it for me again. God almighty.
Dude.
Hashtag, have you noticed how much stuff we're doing for the vets these days? Hashtag real heroes.
Hashtag America. Is that how it goes?
DSC. Da, da, da. Hashtag onward mighty blue and silver.
Hashtag did you just go there?
Hashtag emblem fair of DSC.
Hashtag stand we on your firm foundation.
Hashtag minds and skills and lives made free.
Hashtag depth of valley. Hashtag strength of mountains.
Hashtag lamp of learning on life's highway. Hashtag road to
Hashtag
success.
runner. Hashtag Dalton State College, our alma mater.
Hashtag close within our hearts you'll stay. Hashtag alumni. Hashtag DSC. Forever.
Hashtag graduation. Hashtag you really want to graduate. That's the whole point of this whole thing, just graduating. Am I right?
Hashtag I see what you said.
Hashtag fist bump. Hashtag fist bump rocket explosion.
Hashtag let's do it.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
Hashtag busted.
Hashtag are we in trouble?
Where have you been? I've been looking for you for like 12 hours. Do I do any work around here? Hashtag get it together.
Hashtag is it Saturday yet?
Hashtag it is. It's Saturday, March the 1st, 2014.
Hashtag is it 9?
Hashtag I think it is.
Live from Dalton State College, it's open house.
I've been feeling real good. Came a long way from misunderstood. Far away from the days where